Hey man, what's good y'all? It's your boy Gswoozie, and I'm back with another banger. You know what I'm saying? And today we finna react to UFC mysteries that keep me up at night. Now let's get straight into it.
Brendan Allen walkout photo, October 18th, 2025. UFC Fight Night, Vancouver. Brendan Allen versus RDR. The fight itself was forgettable, but something else happened that night, something that went viral for all the wrong reasons. As Brendan Allen made his walkout to the octagon, a fan in the crowd flashed his phone at the camera. Just a split second, but long enough. The image on the screen looked like a body, lifeless, lying on the ground. Then the
What
camera
the
panned
fuck?
slightly, and that's when people saw him. The man holding the phone was wearing a luchador wrestling mask, covering his face, hiding his identity,
I mean, look, I'm not surprised that UFC boxers would do this kind of shit. I'm not surprised.
and he was staring directly into the camera with a smile, not a normal smile, an unsettling, almost psychotic grin. The internet erupted. What was that picture? Why would someone show it on live TV to millions of people? Reverse image searches turned up nothing. No matches, no movie stills, no TV show screenshots, meaning whoever held that phone likely took the picture themselves. Look closer at the image. The person in the photo appeared to have heavy bruising, black eyes, what looked like blood around the mouth. Even if they were alive, they were clearly in serious danger. The darkest theory is obvious. The masked man killed them, and showing it on live television was his way of getting attention. It's not unprecedented. History is full of killers who craved recognition, who deliberately left clues, who wanted to be famous. Maybe this was his moment, or maybe it was a ransom situation, a kidnapper proving to the victim's
Nah,
family.
I'm dead ass not even surprised, bro. Like UFC fighters be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like Prison Break.
That they were still alive without risking law enforcement tracing a direct message, publicly flashing it on broadcast television where it couldn't be traced back. But there are innocent explanations too. Some Reddit users speculated it was just a prank. A college kid passed out drunk on a bathroom floor while his friends drew on his face with makeup. One of
Yeah, I
them
don't know
thought it
about
would be
that now.
hilarious to shame him further by flashing the photo at a UFC event. Others pointed out the timing. It happened close to Halloween. Maybe it was a deliberate hoax, someone trying to create something creepy that would go viral. When you crop and brighten the
Maybe,
image, some argue it looks more innocent,
but I
nothing
wouldn't be
sinister
surprised
at
if it was
all. But
real.
that doesn't answer the real question. Why the mask? Why the psychotic smile? Why go through all that effort if it was just an innocent photo? The masked man's identity was never revealed. No investigation was ever announced. No follow up, no answers. So we're left with theories, guesses, speculation, and a single frame of footage that raises more questions than it answers. UFC London Brawl, perhaps the most famous street fight in all of MMA lore, happened outside a nightclub in London, February 2003, following UFC 38. Lee Murray, a British street fighter turned MMA prospect, was in an alley with a few of his boys. On the other side, Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, Pat Miletich, and some of their buddies. Everyone was hammered, although in some accounts, Lee was sober. They were waiting on a bus to take them back to the fighter hotel when things went sideways. A vicious brawl erupted, and in the midst of it, Lee Murray allegedly knocked out the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Tito Ortiz, the UFC's biggest star at the time, out cold in a London alley. Or did he? The accounts of what actually happened that night are all over the place. According to Tito, he was never knocked out. He only dropped to a knee because of a recent injury, but he popped right back up. No big deal. Matt Hughes, Pat Miletich, and Lee Murray himself all claim Ortiz was out cold, unconscious on the ground, being soccer kicked while he was down. But here's the thing, Hughes wasn't even there. He's just repeating what Miletich told him. Although in another version of the story, Hughes claims his brother was there, and that's where he got the information. Chuck Liddell, who by every account was backed up against a wall and knocked out at least 5 people during the chaos, said Pat had already left by the time Murray and Ortiz squared off, and that Tito was never knocked out. But it should be noted that Chuck was apparently obliterated drunk that night, so it's unclear how reliable a witness he could have been. Miletich claims Dana White told him they were going to get the security footage and sort out exactly what happened, but nothing ever came of it. The footage never surfaced. It's likely we'll never know the truth. All the major parties have different accounts. The security footage has never emerged online, and no one can agree on what actually went down that night. Yoel Romero's secret, Yoel Romero, one of the most physically intimidating fighters to ever step into the octagon, a man known for his explosive.
Why, bro? Talking about the other one, the other UFC mystery. Yeah, I don't think anything happened there. I think it was just like I think it was just like prediction on whether like something happened or not. You feel me?
And no one can agree on what actually went down that night. Yoel Romero's secret, Yoel Romero, one of the most physically intimidating fighters to ever step into the octagon, a man known for his explosive power, his granite chin, and his unshakable faith. But there's something he won't talk about. During an interview, Romero was asked a simple question, a question fighters get asked all the time. What's been your biggest mistake? What have you learned from your biggest regret? For a moment, Romero went quiet. Then he answered, "You don't want to know." Just 4 words. "You don't want to know." And then he moved on. The interviewer didn't push. The moment passed, but those 4 words lingered. What could Yoel Romero have done that he won't talk about? This is a man who has
Nah,
spoken
he
openly
definitely he
about
definitely
defecting
killed
from
someone.
Cuba, about leaving his family behind, about the struggles of starting over in a foreign country with nothing. He's talked about losses in the cage, about controversial decisions, about missed opportunities. But when asked about his biggest regret, he shut it down immediately. You don't want to know. Was it something from his time in Cuba?
I'm not gonna lie, that's something a serial killer would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Something he had to do to survive before he defected? Something he witnessed? Something he participated in that he's carried with him ever since? Or was it something after he came to the United States? Something in his personal life? A decision that changed the trajectory of everything? Something he's ashamed of? Something he can't take back? We'll never know. Romero has never brought it up again. No interviewer has pressed him on it. And the 4 words he gave us are all we have. You don't want to know. Vitor Belfort leaked test result. September 1st, 2012. Vitor Belfort gets his blood tested. The results come back on September 4th and are sent to the UFC. Those results showed free testosterone levels over twice what is normal for a man of Vitor's age. Here's the problem. Vitor was scheduled to fight John Jones at UFC 152 on September 22nd, 3 weeks away. The UFC had those test results. They knew something was off, and they said nothing. 3 years later, in 2015, journalist Josh Gross revealed what happened in an article for Deadspin. In a clerical error, some paralegal accidentally sent Vitor's lab results to a whole bunch of fighters, managers, and other third parties in the MMA sphere. The results leaked everywhere. Later that day, everyone who received the leaked document got a follow-up message from UFC General Counsel Ike Lawrence Epstein. The message was clear, disclosing any of this UFC General Counsel Ike Lawrence Epstein. The
Ike Lawrence Epstein. Nah, I mean that sounds familiar. Jeffrey Epstein,
message was
but
clear, disclosing any of this
could be tied to
information
him.
would result in legal action. The UFC was threatening lawsuits to keep this quiet. Now it is known that Vitor was on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, during this time period, but even that
What
wouldn't be
is that?
revealed until
T
2013. At the time of the
testosterone replacement therapy. What is that?
fight, nobody knew, and the Ontario Athletic
Niggas
Commission,
removing
where
his
UFC
testosterone?
152
Fuck.
was held, essentially washed their hands of it. They told Bloody Elbow that all questions about the lab results should be directed to the promoter, as they do not require testing for illegal or performance enhancing substances. So the UFC had the results. The UFC knew, and the fight went ahead anyway. Experts who later spoke on the matter said that the result in and of itself wouldn't necessarily lead to a fighter being pulled. There are variables, potential follow-up actions, more tests that could be run. It's not a smoking gun, but it's suspicious as hell. The mystery is, what did the UFC do about it? Did they run follow-up tests? Did they investigate further? Did they clear
Nah,
Vitor through additional testing? Or did they just let it slide? Because pulling him from the fight would have been a disaster. The
nah.
UFC's
They
been
they
radio
definitely let
silent
it
on the
slide. I'm
matter.
not gonna
They've
lie.
never explained
Definitely let
what
it slide.
steps, if any, were taken after receiving those results. And chances are, they never will. GSP 158 weigh-in, UFC 158, Montreal, March 16th, 2013. GSP defending his welterweight title against Nick Diaz, and something strange happened at the weigh-ins. After the fight, which GSP won by unanimous decision, Nick Diaz made several claims. Some of them were outlandish. He claimed he was poisoned. He claimed the fight was rigged, the kind of stuff that made people roll their eyes and dismiss everything he said. But one claim stuck, one claim that still holds weight to this day. Diaz said GSP was allowed to weigh in over the 170-pound limit, a title-stripping offense if true. During fight week, Diaz posted a video he had taken in secret. In the video, a UFC executive explained that the Quebec Athletic Commission would round down any decimal during weigh ins. So if you came in at 170.9 pounds, you would officially be considered 170 flat. GSP's announced weight at the weigh in 170 pounds. Exactly. The UFC had the video taken down almost immediately, which only made things worse. If there was nothing to hide, why pull the video? GSP himself couldn't recall his exact weight, but later he said the scale may have read 170.4 pounds. Convenient. Now, the Quebec Athletic Commission did provide proof after Diaz filed a formal complaint. They showed that rounding down didn't answer the question. What exactly did
It's like,
GSP weigh that night? Was it down was a long-standing, well-known or publicized until Diaz brought it to light? But that still doesn't answer the question. What exactly did GSP weigh that night? Was it 170.4? Was it 170.9?
but it's like, why does that even matter? Why does that matter? How much he weighs? Like, it's just weight. Like, bruh, I wouldn't even find this as a mystery. Like, this is just like an assumption to someone's weight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why they took the video down. Like, it's not even that serious. But now that this was a W video, y'all, make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. And we out, bro.